I want to look at 1 Peter 1:17 today. Marcel mentioned this a couple of days ago, and I felt the depth of conviction and then anointing about it. It's 1 Peter 1 verse 17. In the version she was reading, it said, because we're just visitors here, let us always be respectful of God. When I looked at it in the NIV, it said, since you call on a Father who judges each one's work impartially, live your lives as if you're visiting. And either one of those nails it pretty good. But I wanted to look at it in a framework. I pretty well could say this, that a trick of the enemy in our lives is to make us feel like we have a permanency on this planet. It's probably a trick, because through the trick comes distractions, comes sin, which we need to throw off. We need to throw off sin. We need to avoid distractions, throw off distractions. We need to participate in everything in our lives, all the stuff we have, the people we know, all of our experiences we need to treat as if we're temporary guests in a beloved guest house of beloved people. People that we love and admire. People that we respect. We're living as guests in their home. And so that when we show up not making assumptions and presumptions or entitled, but we're there as guests. And what we're going to do is leave that place better than we found it. We're going to use our influence to speak in and help people. We're going to use our energy, not in distraction. We're going to use our energy to make a difference. We're going to use our influence to make a difference for the respect and love we have for God, because he loves us unconditionally. We're guests of God in his guest house. And we're leaving this place, this world, better than we found it. Don't see this world as permanent. I think if I'm a visitor in somebody's home, I'm not going to take up residence. I'm going to live always ready. You know, that's always important to God. Always be ready. That's why the wafer has no leaven in it in Passover. Because God wanted the people of Israel to always be ready when he said to be ready and to leave their Egyptian bondage. Always be ready to leave planet Earth at a moment's notice. Always be up to date with people that you know and love. Don't let any grass grow under your feet. Don't be distracted by the pleasures of this world, but draw close to God. Lean into God. And I say this to my pastor friends. We live in a modern church era that you've created that really has a circus environment to it. We got to make it all fun and all positive. And the truth about it is, the house of God needs to be a place where people seek God. It needs to be a house of prayer again, where God's the center, not personalities, not ideologies, but God is the center again. But he'll never be the center of the church you lead until he's the center of your life. And the problem we have today is that Christians are starving to death for spiritual food because they've been led to believe that you can live your best life now, or believe in yourself, or love yourself. I mean, loving yourself is the textbook definition of narcissism. When you teach people to love themselves, you're teaching them a narcissistic spirit. What you need to do is teach people to love God, to lean in towards God. Because when you lean in towards and seek God with everything from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, then you really understand the idea that the presence of God is the permanent thing. It transcends this world, and this world is just temporary. That the thing that's permanent, the thing that stays, the thing we busy ourselves with, is the presence of God. We're just visiting here on this planet. We need to be that type of visitor that when we're driving away out of the driveway, the people inside come out and wave. Chase the car down saying goodbye. But always remember it's temporary. The only thing that's permanent is your relationship with the living God. 1 Peter 1, verse 17.